Hey, Laura Layla. I'm like, what's that over there? What if this big long train stopped on the riverbank? I'm going to try to do a video. This is my second try, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm going to try to do it in reverse order. I'm going to tell you about this woman's life in reverse order. But it's about your. I'm going to have a baby, and my reasons why. My 9 babies and counting. Like why would somebody do that? And so this woman's reasoning, what she told me, was she was tired. She didn't want to take care. She didn't want to actually have to work for the things that were necessary for regular life. She wanted to do other things, and she just wanted that stuff to be there. And she didn't want her life to be about working to have what she considered just the basics of life, like, you know, a house and cars and car payments and house insurance and payments and all of these, you know, all of life's details. She didn't want to be bothered with them. So she had a baby, and I asked her about that. But I'll tell you just more about just what happened. So she married a guy that was pretty well off and made a lot of money, and his parents bought their house. Actually, they bought the house and say, "We bought a house for you. It's located here. And if you take it, because it involved moving, if you take it, we will pay for all your children's college educations. So free house, and however many kids you have, we will send them to college." So they took it. So she had a baby and got a house, a nice one. Oh, and a college education. But then on top of that, I mean, her parents were well-to-do as well. It was the same thing. Part of the baby shower was a new car for her, a brand new car for her. The house furnishings, everything that you and I worked to buy was given to her when she had a baby. And also, you might, at this point in time, some of you may be hating her. She is an awesome, awesome woman. Amazing woman. And pretty much cold-heartedly just said, "I think a baby will solve all my problems." And a baby did solve all her problems. And she loved the baby. But the baby was, she laid the golden egg. Oh boy. She laid the golden egg. Oh man, that's a little burst of sudden wit that it's only not me out here to appreciate it. Alright, so yeah, all her life's problems were solved. She did work, but then she worked as more of a consultant, where she got to pick who she worked with, and she got to pick people who made a lot of money. So she just worked with rich people, and so basically she had a hobby, a work hobby, and she made a fortune at it. And she didn't need to do it, so she didn't necessarily, she wasn't necessarily looking for work, so work actually came to her. Yeah, her life was a cakewalk. There was music playing, and every time you sat down, you won a prize. So let me tell you about her a little bit. So I'm done. That's for a reason. She didn't want to do all that. After college and stuff. She was got into the workforce and thought, "Ooh, this is foul. This isn't even beginning to pay for any of the things that I thought that I would have by now." She's like, "So screw that." So here's another thing she said to me that I thought was interesting. She said that she was raised on the milk of loving kindness. As a child, she got anything and everything she wanted. Her parents thought she was amazing, and she played sports that I had to look up and figure out what they were. She played all sports. She played all musical instruments. Her house was full of musical instruments. She actually had, I was going to call it a machine shop, but she had a workshop for building things that had professional grade equipment. She could do fine woodworking or do extensive welding. She's the one that told me all the different kinds of welding there were out there, and I was like, I had no idea. Well, she became a professional student. After she left her parents' house, she went to really expensive colleges and just really enjoyed learning and learned because the stuff she wanted to learn was just stuff that interested her. At no point in time did she think, how will I use this to make money? She just was filling her head full of information and skills and then exercising them. Like, she just didn't learn it and just move on. Like, she actually did stuff with it, like amazing things. And like, so you'd think like, oh, it sounds like she was spoiled, but it also kind of sounds like, to me, like she was the perfect person to spoil, taking full advantage of and fully appreciating all that awesomeness. And then when she got into, I'll call it the real world, she decided that she wasn't coming into the real world. She was coming to a real cesspool. Because one of her very first experiences in the job force was it was sexual innuendo. So it wasn't quite sexual harassment, but it happened so soon into her workforce. And then when she was talking to people about it, there's tons of people who are like, well, let me tell you what I've seen. Let me tell you what I've experienced. She's like, really? Everyone in this room has had some kind of like sexual inappropriate behavior they've encountered? Not to mention, like, when she talked to me about it, I talked about how much workplace violence I've seen. She's like, I don't want to do this. And that's when she told me, she's like, I'm just gonna have a baby and call it quits. You know, go back to school when she's ready. And then, you know, like I said, she ended up just kind of like occasionally trading her skills for a lot of money to people that she could handpick. And her husband was like a workaholic. He was a nice guy. He was like, I wanted to call him real generous, but I just think he was just real rich. And he often saw money as money solved whatever the problem was. Money solved it, and like, and he did it in such a way. I remember once he bought me and a bunch of friends drinks because I was meeting him and my friend, his future wife, and for drinks, and then I was going to a dive bar after that, and she'd gone to that dive bar too, and so she was fine with it, but he didn't want to go, and he says, "Okay, just have your friends come here." And I'm like, oh, my friends can't afford to drink in a place like that. He was buying my drinks. And he just invited all my friends. He didn't even say, well, how many friends are there? He didn't like make sure that he could afford it. He's just like, well, this guy can't have so many friends that I can't pay for drinks. So I can't remember how many people came. It wasn't many. But like, I think they were more impressed than I was. He was so casual about it. That was funny though back there about that golden egg thing. So yeah, well, that's one woman's reason. Unfortunately, I'm denied that possibility because it looked nice. It looked nice. All right, Lala, there you go.